All right, it's my pleasure to welcome you today. My name is Bill Murray. I'm with Dominion Energy, and we are delighted to be hosting this event. What I'm going to do first is recognize some of the dignitaries and community partners that we have here. I'm then going to say just a few words about EnergyShare. I'm then going to turn the podium over to our City Council President, Councilman Hilbert, who is here. So we've got the Council President. We have the Mayor himself here, Mayor LeVar Stoney. We've also got with us representatives of our congressional delegation. We've got representatives of both United States Senators. We have John Knapp, who's the State Director for Senator Kaine. Next to him, we've got Lou Kadiri, who is the State Director for Senator Warner. And then we also have with us Tara Roundtree, who's the Deputy Chief of Staff for Congressman McEachin. So we've also got with us here today our community partners, for example, from Senior Connections, a very long-standing partner of Dominion Energy, going back to the days when we first did fan care, as well as partners from Project Home, who are going to be working on the project you'll be hearing about today. So what are we doing today, and why do we have a bunch of air conditioners stacked around me? My colleague, Charlene Whitfield, will tell you the specifics later. I want to tell you about the EnergyShare program that brings us together, and the way that program changed as a result of state legislation this year. The EnergyShare program is 36 years old. It started with a very simple and very important purpose, that is to help people pay their energy bills. When they didn't qualify for a government program for one reason or another, it's called a wraparound program. It's meant to fill in the gaps with government assistance for energy, primarily the federal LIHEAP program, which is administered here by the state. That program evolved significantly in 2013 and even more in 2015, and even more significantly this year. In 2015, as a result of the work of folks in the McAuliffe administration, the General Assembly, the program kept its focus on energy assistance and gained a focus on ongoing assistance, for example, through weatherization. This year, that program was taken and dramatically expanded by legislation, and I note that because it's a company-funded program. Customers don't pay for this program, our shareholders do. It's an entirely company-funded program, and the idea is it provides both short-term assistance and then long-term assistance, which you're going to hear today, and obviously it's going to be related to air conditioning. So with that brief explanation, we're very proud of this program. We like to think we're an industry leader. We are clearly the industry leader in the United States when it comes to combining energy assistance and ongoing benefits, whether from weatherization or in this case from cooling assistance. So with that, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to yield to our City Council President to say a few words, who is also the council member who represents us here.
Thank you. I'm proud to be here today to represent the 3rd District, where we're standing and sitting today. It's a wonderful area, and the folks in Gilpin Court and I really appreciate what you're doing. This program, as was just stated, is totally company funded, and that's very important. We appreciate Dominion's leadership and being a great corporate citizen and a partner in our city. You know, I believe that, I know that my mother taught me a couple of words that are always important to say, and that is thank you. So I'm not going to be up here much longer, but I do want to say thank you to everyone that came out today, and to Dominion, and to the people of this community that are going to benefit. You know, folks that did a study a number of years ago that said due to climate change that Richmonders and our housing stock were most vulnerable to conditions in their home where they weren't the housing stock, which we have an inordinate number, which don't have central air. And so this will go a long way to help improve the quality and the length of the lives of those that will benefit today. So thank you again. God bless, and let's get on with getting some cool.
We'll now hear from our host today, which is Mr. Orlando Artsy, who is the interim director and CEO of the Richmond Redevelopment and Housing Authority.
Thank you, Bill. When we began talking with Dominion a few months ago about how they could be of assistance, the very first thing that we talked about was being able to provide air conditioning units to residents of public housing that are most vulnerable. And those are the seniors who live in our public housing communities. As many of you may be aware, when public housing was built in Richmond in the late 40s and 50s, those apartments were constructed without any kind of central air conditioning, without any kind of air conditioning at all. And so being able to have 400 air conditioning units, and that's how many seniors we identified that were living in our big 6 properties in public housing, is going to make a huge difference for them. So I want to thank Dominion Energy for this wonderful gift. You know, sometimes we wonder what can we do to have an impact on people's lives, and these air conditioning units are going to make a huge difference for 400 families and individuals living in public housing this summer and for years to come. So thank you very much. It's been wonderful working with Catherine and Rebecca on this project going forward. I also just want to take a minute to thank Mr. Young at Friends Association. We are in his building. He was kind enough to let us use it when we had a change of venue earlier this week. I also want to recognize Commissioner Adams. He's the chair of the RRHA board, and RRHA staff that is going to be responsible for making sure that these air conditioners get in the hands of seniors right away. We have Carol Jones-Gilbert, who's our Chief Operating Officer, Charles Williams, our Director of Public Housing, and Ralph Stuckey, who's our Director of Resident Services. So thank you again, and we're looking forward to getting these in as quickly as possible. Thank you.
We'll hear next now from Annie Motti, who is chair, leader of the Tenants Council here.
Good morning. I don't have a lot to say, but to me, I really thank you all, because I'm a senior and help all the seniors out of whole lives, and I thank you very much.
And we'll now call on my colleague, Charlene Whitfield, to explain a little bit about the program that we have here and introduce our mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Charlene Whitfield, and I'm Vice President of Customer Service at Dominion Energy, Virginia. We believe that all Richmonders deserve the right to live in their homes safely and comfortably, whether it's on the hottest day of the summer or the coldest day of the winter. And that's why we're here today. Dominion Energy cares about our neighbors, and we want to be a part of making sure that we help in those neighborhoods. When we heard from the Richmond Redevelopment and Housing Authority that summer was here and they wanted our help to make sure that the elderly residents had help in staying cool, we immediately jumped to action. As you heard, Dominion Energy plans to donate 400 window air conditioning units to help cool homes of elderly citizens who live in some of the neighborhoods across Richmond. 80 of those air conditioners will be installed right here in Gilpin Court. The remaining 320 units will be distributed to senior residents across the Richmond area. We're also helping to pay the cost of operating those units, and we could not do that without the help of Project Homes. Project Homes is a company that has been great in the Richmond area. Dominion Energy has partnered with Project Homes for a number of years to promote energy efficiency and weatherization. As part of the EnergyShare, all of this is part of the EnergyShare program that Bill mentioned. It is a 36-year-old program that Dominion Energy has been involved in. Our shareholders bear the bills for the EnergyShare program. Now, I want to point out Rita Randolph. Rita's standing over here. Rita has been the face of the EnergyShare program for the entire 36 years that it has been in existence. And she wanted to make sure that she was here today to make sure that we get it done right. absolutely. She deserves a round of applause because she's done a wonderful job with this program. Bill also mentioned the Grid Transformation and Security Act. We're able to expand this program because of that act. And over the next weeks and months, you're going to hear us talking a lot more about how this act is going, what this act is going to do to help the residents in Richmond as well as in the Commonwealth. I also want to recognize our energy assistance team. As you were walking in the door, you may have seen them set up outside. Our energy assistance team works across the state to provide advice on how you can reduce energy consumption, what tools you can use to help weatherize your homes. They also provide options that can help you in paying your bill if you need that help. So I encourage you, before you leave here today, if you need to speak with them, please take advantage of that opportunity to get some advice from them. Now, last year, Mayor Stoney and I were at Kanawha Plaza, along with a lot of other people, to introduce our Senior Cool Care program. And it felt like it was the hottest day of the year that year. We're getting pretty close this year, so it was an opportunity for Mayor Stoney and I, as well as the energy assistance team at Dominion Energy, to roll out our Senior Cool Care program. And we were happy to be able to offer about 380 air conditioner units last year to citizens across the Commonwealth. We're excited this year that we've been able to expand the program. So I'm thankful, Mayor Stoney, that you're here again today to help us with this program and to continue the partnership to provide these opportunities to install window air conditioners for some of the elderly residents in the Richmond area. So, Mayor Stoney, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, first, I want to begin by thanking Orlando and Bob, RRHA, Councilman Hilbert, thank you for your support. Our friends at Dominion as well. Ms. Mahdi, thank you for being an advocate for a long, long time here in Gilpin Court, and our friends at Project Homes as well. You know, every single day I speak about how we go about building One Richmond. And a key component of building One Richmond is that government can't do it all. And that means we need friends, whether in the private sector or those who are in the nonprofit world, and our friends in government coming together to create the sort of safety net to ensure that our most vulnerable residents still are able to live the highest quality of life they can. And this partnership is a great demonstration of that. There were some months ago, I think, that Orlando and Bob were in my office, and they were talking about the need for air conditioning units for some of our residents who are living in our RRHA communities. And I recall that hottest day last year when I think I sweated through my suit. And I got some cool sunglasses. But I remember the program that Dominion was behind, and I said, well, maybe we can put these two together right here and see if we can create something. And today is the fruit of that labor right there, that partnership that has been created. But I think more than just about the process of creating the partnership, but who is going to benefit from this. And there's going to be a lot of individuals who we may not ever know their name, we may never not know the walk in life, but we know this summer they're going to be cool. And what that does for senior citizens, particularly when they may be living with certain health conditions, will go a long, long way in improving their quality of life. And so I want to thank all our partners once again for coming together in the spirit of building One Richmond. Thank you all so much.
And as they say on the cartoon, that's all, folks. I invite you to partake of some of our somewhat healthy refreshments in the back, and more importantly, to learn from my colleagues outside in the blue shirts who can tell you a lot about how to conserve energy, both to save money and to save the environment. We just want to thank both the authority and the city generally for making it so easy to be a partner. Believe it or not, there are times when it's not easy to be a partner. The city always makes it easy. Richmond, we're the greatest place in the U.S. and getting better all the time. So thank you all for coming.